What if you want to capture that chevron look of the moss stitch ripple, but need straight edges? In this video, I'll show you a quick and easy way to fill in the ripples and have an absolutely straight edge ready to accept any of the moss stitch borders and trims. The companion pattern is available by following the link in the description below. This is the right side of the last row worked. And we're working on the final row. So you can see both loops. That makes this the back side of the last row worked. So you want to make sure that the back side is always facing you when you're doing these different pieces. On this pattern, you'll have a half one here, a whole valley here, and a half valley over here. And so there's 3 different approaches to it. They're similar, but they are a little bit different. So let's talk about the most common one, which is this one. That's the one you're going to be doing the most. So we're going to start there. We're going to insert our hook at the peak, in the space, at the peak of any of the peaks. And we're going to slip stitch to join our yarn. And I'm going to pull that all the way through. Then I'm going to chain 1. And then on this side, as I go down, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 1 in each of the spaces up until the point I get to the valley. So in the valley, one space before the valley, I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, and insert my hook on this side, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on the hook, and chain 1. That does a very neat decrease so that it looks nice from both sides. So then we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 up until one space before the tip of the peak. So I have, this is my last space before the tip of the peak. So I'm going to insert my hook here, pull up a loop, yarn over, once again, insert my hook into the peak, pull up a loop, 4 loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. Now I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So, because each one of the valleys, and each, whether it's a half valley or a valley, it's going to be a separate piece of yarn, you'll want to weave this end in before you proceed. So I'm going to do it right now. Now we're going to turn, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 into each of the spaces until I get to one space, the space before the decrease. So I have to do a chain 1 yet. I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert in the next space on the other side of the decrease, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1. In the next stitch or next space, I'm working a single crochet, chain 1. Now I'm one space before the turning chain. So in this, I'm going to work, pull up a loop in that first space, yarn over, and then insert my hook in the top of the turning chain. Yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to repeat this row, coming back down, a single crochet, chain 1. Now I'm right before the decrease. I'm going to insert my hook in the space before the decrease and pull up a loop, yarn over, insert in the space after the decrease, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1. Then in this space, I'm in my last space before my turning chain. So I'm going to insert in that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and I'm going to insert my hook into the top of the turning chain and pull up a loop. yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1, turn. So now I'm down to the space right before the decrease and the space right after the decrease. So I'm going to insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1. Now, there's nothing more to really do except go in to the top of the turning chain and slip stitch, because we have just successfully filled this valley. Let's go back and do the rightmost edge. So you still have to make sure that the back side of the last row is facing you. You'll only have one of the rightmost, so I'm going to insert my hook right under that end stitch, pick up a loop, slip stitch, and chain 1 to join. So in the very first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to go up this upward slope this exact same way. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, until I get to 1 space before the peak. In this one, I'm going to insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, then I'm inserting into the peak, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1, turn. Now once again, we want to weave in this end before we go on. We've done our chain 1 and we turned, and now we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 in each of the spaces until the space before the edge stitch. So here we're going to insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into that turning chain at the very beginning, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the first space, chain 1. Now the second space is the one that's right before the turning chain. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook under the turning chain or into the turning chain, 4 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain 1, turn. Now we're just down to 1 space in the turning chain. So insert, pull up a loop in the space, yarn over, insert in the turning chain, pull up a loop, 4 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Now we're going to chain 1 and pull our end through. The leftmost half valley is worked exactly the same as the rightmost half valley, except you start in the top of the peak and work downward on the first row. We have just done our chain 1 and turn, and what I'm going to do is going to begin the edging. If you need to change your color, then you have to break your yarn, but all you have to do is do a single crochet, chain 1 in the very first stitch, and then around the next few stitches. Single crochet, chain 1. You can skip because your chain 1 is going to be, but you want to make sure this edge is nice and square. So across a half valley fill, you probably want to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one into the center of the peak. Then you're going to continue along this side and work a single crochet, chain 1, jump over a little bit, single crochet, chain 1. So isn't that nice? You have a nice little edge along, and that really ties it up. So then you can start adding additional borders. On the foundation row, if you have an afterthought and say, oh, I really want to straighten this out, We did it successfully on the final row, but now we're going to come back and do it successfully on the starting row. Each one is a separate little piece that we're going to crochet into it. Attach it and chain one. Pull that end through. Okay, so in the first space, I'm going to work a single crochet, chain one. In the second space, a single crochet, chain one. Third space, and if you notice, the space I'm going to is in all the way around the foundation chain. So I have a lot of stuff under this first row. But now I'm at the point where I'm at the space before the increase, because remember, this was an increase on this side because that's a point. But you have to treat it as if it's a decrease. So we're going to insert in the space before that, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert in the space after, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all four. Chain one and go in. Now we're going to go into that space, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one. I'm going to insert in the space before the decrease, yarn over the hook, insert in between the two legs of the decrease, right there, because remember, this is a decrease on the first row to create a valley. But when you flip it over, it becomes the peak. So, 4 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. Chain one and turn. From this point on, it's all the same to fill in this valley. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!